Hi there. So again, we just want to explore, see what happens when we apply these transformations to our graphs. So what happens if we throw a negative out front? Well, again, we're using this parabola. We're trying to use, I'm trying to use the same function again and again, so it's something we're familiar with, right? So if we look at the graph of f of x as x squared, once again, we have a rough idea of what that looks like. Okay, so the original graph looks something like this. Again, we've done this a couple of times just on this page. So we have a pretty good idea. Plus, you should have learned about parabolas back in Math 095. Okay, so this is your original graph. So what happens when we go to graph g of x is negative x squared? Well, they're almost the same, right? The biggest difference is really this negative that sits out front. So if we were to plug in the same numbers, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, and 2, when we plug that in, this becomes negative 2 squared, which order of operations says we square first, so that's 4, and then negative second. And then this would be the same way, again, square first, which would be 1, and then negative after. And then 0 squared negative is just, it's just 0. 0 doesn't have a sign, right? Negative 1 squared would be negative 1, and negative 2 squared would be negative 4. So in this case, our graph actually changes direction, right? This is not exactly the same. So here, when we're lining this up, we've still got 1 and 2, and then negative 1 and negative 2, because that's still what we plugged in. But this time, our results are in a different direction. So now we're going to go from negative 2 to negative 4, negative 1, negative 1, 0, 0 is still the same, 1, negative 1, and 2, negative 4. So the shape, again, is the same, but what happened, well, it basically got itself flipped upside down, okay? All right, and so that's what putting a negative out in front like that does to the graph of a function, is it flips it upside down, or it reflects it. It's a better way to say it. All right?